Well, good morning, YouTube. Matt M. Roy back again. Or I guess I should say afternoon, because technically it's about 1 o'clock in the afternoon. I know I haven't put a video up in a day or so, and it's mainly because I've been very busy around the house. And again, I had some computer work I had to finish. I actually finished that off yesterday. And Dad and I decided to go out this morning. We had to get a few things at Home Depot. We needed a new doorbell. Basically the button outside worked, but the light was dead, so people kept thinking that the doorbell didn't work and were just knocking on the door. So we bought one of those. We also needed to get 2 fluorescent light bulbs for our kitchen, and they're very odd ones. They're actually U-shaped 4-foot T12 bulbs. And I know I touched on this a couple of months ago in one of my videos, but T12 bulbs are actually being phased out for the more efficient and newer T8 fluorescent bulbs. T12 bulbs have actually been in existence for over 80 years now, and not only are they very inefficient, they also contain a lot of mercury, a lot more than the newer T8 bulbs do. And of course, eventually T8s are going to be phased out and everything is going to LED bulbs. And that's why I wanted to touch on a little bit today in this video. When we went to Home Depot, we also purchased a bunch of these Philips. These are the Philips 60-watt equivalent LED bulb replacements. This replaces a 60-watt incandescent light bulb and only uses 8.5 watts. These are by no means the high-end LED bulb. I've seen a few videos on YouTube where people have actually taken these apart and said that they're actually made fairly cheaply, but they're a decent quality. They boast that it'll actually last 10 years, and you can actually see that right there. So that's not bad at all, considering compact fluorescent bulbs only maybe last about 4 or 5 years. They always boast a longer life than you'll actually get. Not only that, it's your energy cost that is drastically reduced. This puts out 800 lumens, or 800 meters of light, and also only cost a little over $1 a year to run. So these are an excellent value. And they actually call them the LED basic bulbs. Now, one thing you got to watch with LED bulbs is a lot of them are non-dimmable, and that's what this one actually says here, non-dimmable. Most incandescent bulbs you can dim. Doesn't have to be a special bulb, but when you get into compact fluorescents and LEDs, if you have a dimmer switch hooked up to your fixture, you absolutely have to get one that says that it's dimmable. If you hook one of these up to a dimmer and they're a non-dimmable bulb, you can actually cause severe damage, not only to the bulb itself, but it can actually cause damage to your circuitry. So definitely be careful with that. I'm going to go ahead and show you guys what I've been up to. I actually bought 4 of these. Originally, we were going to go ahead and put 3 of these in the downstairs bathroom fixture. For some reason, that fixture does not work with these LED bulbs. I believe there must be some kind of incompatibility there. It may actually be an issue with the switch. I'm not sure yet. I haven't really looked much into it. Probably what I will do for now is keep the incandescent bulbs in there, because those lights don't stay on for any length of time, but eventually I might go ahead and try to replace the switch, or I may even try a different brand of LED bulbs and see if that makes a difference. Okay, so coming out to the hallway, this is what I've been doing. I'm actually replacing the bulbs here. I actually just put one of these Philips bulbs up here, and as you can see, it fits perfectly. It looks just like a regular incandescent light bulb. And I'll show you what I took out of here. For the longest time, we had these squiggly compact fluorescent bulbs in there, and these were actually still working just fine. But I eventually want to phase all these out of the house, and the main reason is they're not as efficient and they do contain mercury. So if this was to break, you could pretty much get some mercury poisoning. Another problem with these is if you look towards the bottom here, this is the actual ballast that controls the bulb itself. And as you can see, it's actually starting to turn brown. Well, that's because the ballasts in these put off a lot of heat. Eventually what tends to happen is when these get really hot, I mean hot enough to where if you touch it, you burn your hands, it can actually cause the fluorescent bulb to start to fracture. And as you can see up here, the bulb itself is actually starting to get a little bit of a black spot. So it's definitely time to change these out. And I'm just going to go ahead and test this real quick to make sure that it is working. Yep, as you can see, this is the new LED bulb. And the one down here I have not changed out yet. That's still one of the old squiggly compact fluorescents. And I can actually tell already that the LED bulb here is much brighter. So this is not only going to last longer, but it's going to give off a lot more light. One thing I did have to do, because these have not been down for quite a few years, I actually went and rinsed these off in the sink with some soap and water. There were a lot of dead bugs in here, so I figured this was a good time to do a little spring cleaning at the same time. So I'm going to go ahead and finish putting the other bulb in there, and then we'll see what the rest of the day brings. Talk to you guys in a little bit. Well, before I get back to that, I know a lot of you guys probably saw Simon come by, and since he gets me such good ratings on the channel, I'll go ahead and show him once again. I have the light on, so he's not too happy about that. He's doing just fine. He's just finished his treats. He used to come down earlier, like around 10 or 11 to get his treats for the day, but as he gets older, he tends to want to sleep in a little bit more. One thing I have to be very careful with him, his right eye, if he'll show it to me. Come on, baby. His right eye, his inner eyelid, when we first got him, I guess when he was out in the elements, some animal scratched it and it actually destroyed half of that inner eyelid. So he tends to get a lot of goop built up in there. So about once every couple of days, I got to clean that one eye out. And sometimes I have to give him drops, but that's fairly rare. Usually if we keep the humidity up in the house, he tends to be just fine. But I can tell that right eye of his does get dry on occasion, especially during the winter. All right, well, I would call that a successful job. Well done. They're both working fantastically. All the dead bugs are pretty much taken out of there. I basically just washed these under the sink for a couple of minutes. This one looks really, really good too. They were really dusty, man. I can't believe how clear it is now compared to what it was just a few minutes ago. So the very next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to go downstairs and show you guys the other problem I was having. I have one of these Philips LED bulbs left, and I want to kind of get your opinion, see if you can help me out with a little problem. Talk to you guys in just a couple of minutes. All right, so I'm in the downstairs bathroom. You guys can see me through there. Hello. I got to do this quick before these heat up. I'm going to go ahead and pull one of these incandescent bulbs out of this. This is a 3-bulb fixture, nothing special. You see what was in there was a 75-watt incandescent bulb, which I'm just going to go ahead and stick there for a minute. And like I said, I originally bought 3 of these to replace the 3 bulbs in here. But let me show you the problem that I'm having. Go ahead and twist that in. Hard to do one-handed, but we'll get there. There it goes. And as you can see, nothing. The bulb is totally dead. But the problem is not the bulb. These bulbs actually work fine. For whatever reason, it does not work in this particular fixture. So those of you that are a little more knowledgeable about this than I am, see if you can help me out with this. I'll get a little closer inspection. This is the fixture. It's just a standard socket. I think they call them par 38s. And I don't see a reason why this shouldn't work. The only thing I could figure is maybe there's a problem with the switch delivering either too much voltage or not enough voltage. Once again, if any of you guys know how I can solve this problem, maybe getting a couple of more LEDs that'll work in here, go ahead and leave a comment, just let me know. All right, let me show you the other thing we were working on. This is our fixture in the kitchen. This is really, really hard to get to. If you look closely up there, you can see these 2 little plugs. Well, under those plugs are some Phillips head screws. The way you have to open this is you pull those 2 plugs out, then you take the screws out, and this light fixture actually folds down. And what are in there are 2 T12 4-foot U-shaped bulbs. And you can actually see them if I turn it on. I think the camera will pick it up, but I'll go out and show you what one of the old bulbs looks like. But it was really, really hard to get those in. And because they're phasing out the T12 fluorescent bulb line, we're not going to be getting those much longer. So we're going to have to figure out, either we're going to have to buy a whole bunch of them and hope that we have enough to last us. More likely than that, we're probably going to wind up having to change out that light fixture. And the one last thing I did today is I replaced this one can light here with an LED bulb. And that was this one here. This is a Philips 65-watt equivalent bulb. So we've been fairly busy today. I eventually want to get all the other bulbs replaced. These can lights here are all compact fluorescents, the ones over here. And also the ones in the living room are also compact fluorescent. We bought this one just to see how we liked it, and so far so good. It gives off quite a bit of light, good amount of lumens, no heat off of this, and one nice thing is it turns on and off instantly, whereas the compact fluorescent bulbs actually have to warm up. As you can see, that might take upwards of 5-6 minutes before it goes to its full brightness. So I think in the near future we're going to go ahead and replace all these compact fluorescents with the newer and much better LED bulbs. Alright guys, so after my third trip to Home Depot, that's right guys, count them 3 trips today, I finally have all of the LED bulbs that I need. As we were changing bulbs out in here, we kept finding more and more that we wanted to change. So basically what I have now, all of these bulbs, with the exception of this one here, which is still the compact fluorescent, are LED. But I did purchase one more, and that was my mistake. When I went there, I miscounted. I got 3, but I really needed 4. So that bulb is going to be going in there. We replaced the 3 bulbs in here with LEDs. The bulb in this lamp here is now LED, as well as the bulb in this lamp in front. Now, the only ones I didn't change down here yet are the 4 here, and I'm not going to do that right now. These we don't really use that often. These are the same compact fluorescent can style lights that were in the kitchen area. Probably get to those sometime within the next couple of months, but I just don't really want to spend the money replacing them right now. So for the most part, we're going to have all LED bulbs in this house with just a few exceptions. The bathrooms, for the most part, are still incandescent, but everything else is either compact fluorescent or LED. So I'm going to go ahead and install the rest of these bulbs, and then I got one more surprise to show you guys, so talk to you in a few minutes. Alright guys, and the very last bulb I have to replace today is the bulb out of this little floor-to-ceiling lamp, I guess you'd call it. Now, I almost picked up the wrong one. For a few minutes I had forgotten that this is actually a candelabra style base. So what I actually did is when I went to Home Depot, I picked up this right here. This is the Eco Smart LED. This is a soft white, so this is going to be a little bit brighter. This is not the warm white. This is between the soft white and the daylight, so this should be about I believe this one's about 4200 K for the color temperature. But as you can see, it's fairly close to this bulb. It's maybe just a tad thicker, the base, but it still should fit in here just fine. It says for use with, you could see ceiling fans. It looks like, I don't know what you would call those, outdoor lamps, chandeliers, and then just like wall lamps. I don't know what the proper name for that is. These are instant on. They're made for indoor use, and they are dimmable. So I'm going to go ahead and throw this bulb in here, and we'll see what it looks like. Alright, well I would call that a successful install. I don't know if you guys can actually see the LEDs in here. I don't think the camera can pick it up, but this is extremely bright. This is going to be great when I'm doing reviews on my computer desk here. This shines a lot more light than the old incandescent bulb sure did. Well, I'm going to go ahead and end the vlog here for today. I really hope you guys enjoyed this little adventure with me. Like I said, eventually I want to go ahead and replace all of the house lights with LED bulbs. I'm probably about 60 or 70% there. Mostly the bathroom lights still need to be replaced, and there are a few lights in the garage that are still incandescent. But we're going to get there. It's a process, but I can definitely tell that our energy bill is going to go way down, because as you guys can see on here, this light bulb alone puts out 500 lumens of light and only costs 90 cents a year to run. So I would highly recommend upgrading your lights in your house to LED if you have the means to do so. Please remember to like and subscribe, and as always, have a blessed day, everybody.